Hey, Josh, great to have you here on the call today. And just tell us right off the bat. Everybody's going to know you because you're going to get a chance to share this with people that you've known for a long time. And they're probably going to be wondering, hey, who is this crazy looking guy from Texas? My name is Steve Moore. I'm with Success Publishing, and I am getting the opportunity here to interview Josh Holland and to basically talk about what has become a game changer in his life. He's become a published author just recently. And so I'm going to get a chance to talk to him about that and talk to him what is his mission and passion in life. So Josh, give everybody a hello and tell us where you're from.
Yes, hello. My name is Josh Holland, and I'm actually from a little bitty community named Defeated Creek, and it's actually in the Middle Tennessee. And actually live in Lebanon, Tennessee now, which is also in Middle Tennessee. And so that's where I'm from, a little bitty community.
All right. So tell us, what do you do, Josh?
Actually, I've been a corporate accountant for the last 16 years.
Okay.
And being an accountant, you kind of learn financials and numbers. So I'm really a numbers guy.
Got it. So in the middle of being an accountant and seeing all those numbers, I'm guessing you work with a lot of different clients?
Yes, I actually work with 7 or 8 different clients at my current position now that I do full time. Okay. So that I have different clients going forward as well too. So
got it. So we've had the opportunity to work together, and you're just a really awesome guy. And I know everybody that knows you already knows that you're an awesome guy. I want to get a little deeper into maybe the version of Josh that people don't know and what motivated you to become an author. Tell me about that.
I guess the version that most folks don't know is before all this happened, I was a very, very shy individual.
Okay.
Very introverted. I didn't talk to a whole lot of people. And when the network marketing industry kind of came my way, that's when I kind of stepped into a little bit of personal development. I didn't have a clue what that was at the time. But once I got into network marketing, I definitely found out what that was. And actually to be a author was actually a dream come true, to be honest. I just kind of saw the opportunity to come about and to share a story of mine, and hopefully to touch some other people that they can do what they put their mind to.
That's amazing. So let's talk about that right there. For people to be able to do what they put their mind to, that sounds like it's like a core message that's coming from a deep part of you, who you are inside. Give me some more about that. Tell me what that means to you.
Something to put your mind to. A lot of people I see that they don't have any goals in life. They just kind of go just like a ship that just left the harbor, and they have no navigation, and so they really don't know. So they just kind of go from I guess if you're at sea, you're going from sea to sea. You really don't know kind of how to get to where you want to go. So what I saw kind of me was I was kind of in that situation.
Okay.
Yes, I was in corporate accounting, for 16 years. But as far as going forward and seeing a future, that's kind of going from step to step. Just kind of trying to move up the corporate ladder or whatever you might say about that. But as far as going forward and seeing my future, I just didn't see there's something more is the way I looked at it. And be able to come up with some goals to accomplish, let's say, in 8 weeks, in 6 months, in 1 year, in 3 years, 5 years, and just kind of taking those steps to be able to get to my, accomplishment, to be a level of success that people would kind of get your story and just kind of basically say, wow, if that guy can do it, I know I can.
That is so key. And I think that is something that I've heard from many other extraordinary individuals. I'm adding you to that list. And it is that thing that you get from maybe your study, maybe from your personal life, that you gain an understanding, or it's a belief, but it's not just superficial. It's something that kind of is like a seed that roots down the side of you. And you get that if one human being can do something, then all human beings can do that same something. Does that make sense?
Yes, most definitely. And that's kind of what I've learned. Like I said, I've read several personal development books in the
Mhm.
last 5 to 6 years, and that's something that I saw common with all the ones that that wrote a book, was that they set their mind to something. First, that's most of them were kind of in a situation they didn't want to be in,
Right.
and then they kind of had a change of mind that I don't want to be in this situation. So what are the steps I need to take to get out of this situation? And they kind of came up with their steps, and the way I look at the steps was they kind of came up with personal goals to get them to where they want to be, and to be able to share that story can also touch somebody else
Yeah.
in a way that they start to believe in themselves, because that's what something else I kind of understood too is there's many people that don't believe in themselves and don't believe they can do the things that they can't really see right now.
Yeah.
And kind of going forward, and to be able to see the things you want to do later on, you must have some type of goal set in place, and also the steps that you want to do to achieve those goals to get to somewhere new that you've never been.
And so, what it sounds to me is you have the ability to envision in your mind, because if you're setting a goal that hasn't happened yet, you've got to be able to see the accomplishment of that here first before you actually get to touch it, don't you?
Exactly. And one of the best ways I kind of saw that, and like I said, reading different books, personal development, one of the main ways I did see that was I also learned a lot of the successful people they've always took the time to write things down on paper.
Right.
Yes, I might have a goal, but do I have it wrote down on paper where I can see it every day, where it might be in front of me every day? And that's one of the things that I saw, and that's what I started to do, was to write things down on paper and make sure I looked at it, at least every 2 or 3 days. And
Ah,
if it was something that really stuck with me, I would not only write it down, I would also I'd make audio of me reading that information, and I would listen to it 2 or 3 times a day, and kind of go, and that would keep it really fresh on my mind, and whatever was kind of on my mind at the time, that's what I'm going to go toward.
wow. So you've just shared a formula for your success in life. That's what you just did. You just gave it to us in a capsule.
Yes, sir.
So you becoming a published author, tell me how that idea came to mind. How long have you been wanting to be a published author and share what you've learned with everyone else?
I guess it was probably about 2 years that I got into personal development. I
Mhm.
started to look a little bit into that, because I'm like, well, I'm reading all these books and I'm kind of doing the same things they're doing to maybe become a success. And then I saw this opportunity with Matt Morris and with yourself that came about. And to be honest, I actually saw this about 2 or 3 years ago, and didn't actually go for it.
Right.
To be honest. So once this came around again, I was like, this is it.
Right.
I have to go for this.
Awesome. So you got a book around there that you got published here recently?
Yes, sir, I do. It's actually my book. It's Beyond Success with Joshua Holland.
I like it. Yeah, and
Love it.
awesome book. Great picture. Love to see your name, Beyond Success. This is your story, your mission, and it looks like you've been released on a couple major media channels. So tell me what it feels like, number one, to be a published author with you on the cover of your own book. You opening the box up, getting it, touching it for the first time. Tell me about that.
Basically, it's like I said, it's a dream come true, and super excited is the only way I know how to explain it. Is that once you get going through the process that you guys have,
Mhm.
and to be able to go through that so quickly, and to actually get the book in your hands is just really unbelievable, to be
Right.
honest. To actually see something go through there, and you're taking the time to write your own chapter, and you taking the time to do what you guys do, which you're awesome at, and to provide that value for individuals like myself. It's just really dreams coming true.
Well, we love to find extraordinary people like you that want to do exactly what you're doing, which is, number one, share of helping other people become their better version of themselves by you sharing how you became your better version of yourself. So you've created not theory, not fantasy. You're sharing what you did to use, what you personally have embraced, and how, in my life, some of the stories that I've shared is because it started off with a huge failure. started off with me doing a face plant. And then how did I get back up, you know, and then why did I get back up? And so I've heard you articulate that, you know, in this conversation right here. But, you know, we love finding individuals like you that have such a great message and a heart that wants to share with other people. And, you know, this flows out of you. You know, you can just tell that you enjoy talking about it. You know, this is, you know, like people say, hey, do you guys, when y'all do the interview, do you script all this out? No, this is coming from Josh, from the center of Josh. This is just Josh kicking it with Steve. This is it.
Right.
So this is a milestone in anybody's life to become a published author. And all of a sudden, the milestone came 2 years ago and you let it go. And this time when it came by again, you grabbed it, you embraced it. Now you're a published author. You're a published author and you've been seen on some major media channels. And then on top of that, I believe you've also become a best-selling author on Amazon as well. So, you know, how do you reconcile? I'm going to use a word that's an accounting word, right? I remember this from my accounting, 201. How do you reconcile, you know, Josh, that a couple of years ago was very introverted, and all of a sudden now you're a published author, you've been seen on, you know, media like Fox and ABC and NBC, and then on top of that, you're a best-selling author. And am I right to say that you also made it to the very top of that?
Yes, that was correct.
So tell me, how did this happen? You know?
Basically just the, actually finding the opportunity coming around again, that just kind of led me to, this is time to do it. This is time to see about going to do this. And, actually to be a best-selling author, also learned that there's only 1% of the whole world that even can be an author.
Right.
So who do I want to be associated with is one of the questions I had to answer to myself was, well, I want to be associated with one of the top 1% of the world. That's where success is, and that's where you want to be. So once I saw that, and once I heard that, be able to go to the top, is actually, you're on top of the world. Actually,
sure.
The way I look at it, to be a best-selling author and to be on some awesome networks, as you saw in my book there, to be able to get your story out. That's what it's all about. It's about getting the story. A lot of people, they've asked me about, so why did you do this? Are you making a lot of money? Did you do that? You know, or, you know, how much money you making and all this stuff? And I just tell them straight up, I was like, if I make a lot of money doing this, that would be awesome. Mm-hmm. But if, let's say I didn't make a lot of money, well, it's still awesome. Right. Because you actually get to share your story that could touch somebody else to go in the right direction to change their life. And that's to me, that's priceless. There's no price that you can put on that. You could say, Josh, you wrote a book, you're a best-selling author. Here's $500,000 for doing that. Or they could say, I could get like a testimony back saying, I just bought your book and I read it about a week ago and let you know I was down in the dumps. I didn't have a job. I didn't know what to do. And I read your book and it gave me inspiration to change my life. Wow. And now I'm on the right steps to be able to do what you just did. Yeah. To me, that's what this is about. It's not about getting wealthy and making a bunch of money on it. Is that fine? Yes, it's fine. I'm not saying it's not, but the main thing of it is you get your story out, you can touch some other people, and that's one of the main purposes that I have in my life.
Outstanding. I have to ask, you know, like one final question, because, you know, you're absolutely awesome person. I'm going to imagine somewhere around there, you know, you've got something underneath that shirt that's got a big S on it or something like that. Because you're absolutely super, my friend.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Just who you are, it comes from inside, and you can hear it and you can feel it. So I'm going to ask you one last feeling question, which is, you know, beyond opening that book and holding it for the first time, beyond being able to touch people's lives, what is the one thing that was most unexpected that has happened to you now as a best-selling author?
I guess one thing that has kind of been unexpected was the kind of the major support that I see.
Oh, wow.
Really from around the community that I grew up. That just doesn't happen. That
Wow.
doesn't happen. That people just you're a published author, you're a best-selling author, and you came from this little community. That's just some things that don't happen. So a lot of encouraging words from folks like that, and actually had a very encouraging word for one of my friends that I had. He is a younger gentleman than I am,
Right.
but once he saw my book and he got it and he read some of it, he sent me a text the next day to kind of congratulate me, and he said I'd love to sit down with you and talk to you a little bit more because I need someone to be a mentor in my life. So
Wow.
that's something that would have never ever happened without being a best-selling author and having this book out there to share your story. So that was absolutely awesome.
Outstanding. Wow. Well, this is why I love doing what I do, is because I love getting to work with outstanding people like you. You're a rock star, my friend, and very
Appreciate
happy
it.
to just be able to hang out with you. Getting to see you go through the process, and now, seeing you as that authority. You are an authority now as an author. And
Right.
but here's the thing, what's really awesome about it is to still hear how humble you are and how much your whole focus is about helping other people and helping to serve. Outstanding.
That's what it's all about, my friend.
Absolutely. You're awesome, my friend. Well, listen, we're going to catch up with you down the road and hear more awesome stories, but I thank you for taking a few minutes with me today, and we'll catch up with you here soon, my friend.
All right, that sounds great, and I appreciate all your hard work too, Steve. I really appreciate you.
Yes, sir.